Hello everyone, hello YouTube, this is Felipe, o Gato de Salto, and today I'm here to talk to you about an amazing topic that I've been wanting to talk about for ages, but I didn't have the courage, I didn't have that much of the knowledge, and it just didn't happen. But I'm here to talk to you about the Orixás. Okay, so if you are a Sambista of some sort, if you're a musician, if you're a dancer, you have been confronted at some parts of your Samba experience life with the Orixás. What are the Orixás? You probably know. Orixás are Afro-Brazilian deities that are venerated in basically three different religions: Candomblé, Umbanda and Quimbanda. Now, for Candomblé and Umbanda, I've already made a video explaining them, explaining the difference between these two religions, and I will leave a link in the description box and maybe even up here. But of course, these deities, they were brought to Brazil by the enslaved people that were, especially the Yoruba people, and those people who were kidnapped and enslaved, they were not only brought to Brazil, they were also taken to the Caribbean and to the sugar plantations in the Caribbean, for example, even Cuba. So you even have the adoration, the veneration of Orixás in that part of the world as well, which I consider to be very, very interesting. I can be talking to my Cuban salsa kind of friend and talk about Iemanjá or Oshun, and they know what I'm talking about. But before we even start really talking about these Orixás, I'd like to remind you that I am not a religious expert. I am not an expert of these specific religions. I am not a scholar about ancient philosophy and religion. No, I am just me. And all I want to achieve with this video is actually to convey information to people like you, Sambistas from all over the world who perhaps don't have access to Brazil or don't speak Portuguese, and so people who are interested but in a different way would also have a lot of difficulty trying to get this information. And this is my goal here. This is my goal with this channel. I want to give you the information that you want and that I consider is important for your development within the Samba world. I'd also like to remind you that I am talking about deities. I'm talking about God. So we have to be very respectful. We don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to offend anyone watching this video. This is not my purpose. I do not want to offend the gods. So I hereby ask permission to talk to my public, my audience, about you people, you amazing gods and Orixás. Please help me convey the right information, inspire me to give only information that is true and that is accepted by you and by all the viewers. So, as I said, Orixás are gods and goddesses. In the Candomblé, as you probably watched in the videos, they are more traditional, they are gods and goddesses, that's it. In the Umbanda, they are gods and goddesses, but rather related to nature. So, yeah, gods of nature. That's it, thank you very much for... No. But there is a lot to be said about them. I will try to go through the myth of the creation of the world from the point of view of the Orixás, how it happened with you, and I hope you have a little bit of patience. Since I am about to tell you one of these stories, one of these myths, I'd like to remind you that all myths that you come across that concerns the Orixás, they come from the Candomblé religion, which is a religion that is over 5,000 years old, and who has passed this tradition and the stories orally by generation. Umbanda does not use these myths. It's a lot younger. The religion is about 100 years old, as I said in my previous videos. Watch it. Once upon a time, there was one God, the supreme God, the main God, the first God, the origin of everything, who also has different names. One name of this god is Olorum. Olorum. Deus é o criador do universo.
Supremo Criador do universo. Meus olhos.
Mocidade 2020 from São Paulo. Ah, such a good song. So basically we had this one god, Olorum, and he used to live in an empty space in the universe. All that there was in this space was basically emptiness. So within him, he created, or he just emulated, he just externized different aspects of himself and created the Orixás. Now there's also different versions, but some people say that the first Orixá to be ever created was Oxalá. Now in Umbanda, as you know, Oxalá is the direct connection or the equivalent of Jesus Christ. Interesting, isn't it? Main God creates Jesus Christ. Main God Olorum creates Oxalá. I think I've heard the story before. Also, another god that is then created after is Nana, or again, there are different versions to the story, but Oduduwe. There's a third god that is created, a third Orisha that is created, and his name is Eshu. Okay, there are again different versions, who was created first, who was created second. That's not a very clear thing. This is a story about the creation of the world, so it's about the polarization, as I said, you know, the light and the darkness, male and female. So you have basically Olorum creating the first male energy in Oxalá, the first female energy in Nana or Oduduewa, and Eshu. Now, I would like to establish a parallel that I came across within my researches, that if you get the Kabbalah of the Jewish religion, and Eshu would be connected to one of the spheres in the tree of life, the sphere of Hod, H-O-D, and this sphere, this god within the Kabbalah, the tree of life, it's actually an hermaphrodite, is a being of both sexes, which is so interesting in my opinion, because you have the creation of man, the creation of male energy, masculine, female energy, feminine, and the hermaphrodite, at least in the Kabbalah, which has a direct connection to Eshu. And as you will probably hear further on, there are two aspects of Eshu that are venerated within the Umbanda, which are the Eshus and the Pombagiras. So it's all very, very interesting, male and female again. But again, we are at the beginning of the world. We have the different energies that were created. And the fun thing is that these Orishas, they're very much human. They feel love, they feel jealousy, betrayal, fear. They are courageous or not. They're a bit like Greek gods in a way, if you are familiar with the Greek pantheon. So Olorum, the main god, gives Oxalá a task and say, Oxalá, you have to create the world. There are different versions to the story, but here is something that is going to help you. And he gives a bag, a magic bag with many, many different things inside. And on his way there, he crosses Eshu, and he just crosses Oshun and does not give Oshun an offering in the version that I'm telling you. So Eshu knows that something is not going to go well. And on his way to creating the earth, many different things happens, but he gets really thirsty, and from one of the created palm trees, he drinks a palm tree wine, gets really drunk, and falls asleep. The way that the earth itself was created was from that magic bag I told you. He released a white dove from the bag that was supposed to fly in a circle. And then, since water was basically created, he put a lot, there was some earth in the bag as well that was thrown there, and he put a chicken, that's the so cool part, with 5 fingers or 5 toes, we say fingers in Portuguese, 5 toes, and that chicken was supposed to spread the earth all around and create the continent. Now, there are many cool myths about the creation of the world itself, but as I said, Oxalá fell asleep, and Eshu saw that, told Nanam. So Nanam basically did it, completed the creation of the world, and when Oxalá woke up, the world was created. He went to Olorum and said, oh my gosh, Nanan created the world. And Olorum basically told him off, but gave him a second chance, forgave him because he's the Almighty God, and gave him the chance to create the humans. And he created the humans from mud. Do you know any stories like that? Humans that were created from mud, and he gave the breath of life to the humans. So we have, in this version of the myth that I found, we have Nanna created the planet and everything in it, Oxalá creating the humans, and both being created by Olorum. So you have here a kind of a holy trinity, which I consider to be very interesting. But anyway, I'll leave you to your own conclusions. And then once the planet was created, every part of the world was given to a different Orixá. So Nanan got the swamps and the non-moving waters. You had Iemanjá, who got all the oceans and the seas, so salty waters. You had Oshun, the deity that got the sweet waters, so the rivers and the waterfalls. You had Shango, who got the stone quarrels. You had Ogum, who got the battlefields and the rule over metal. You got Yansan. Yansan got all the skies and the storms and the winds. You've got Oshosi, who is the hunter, so he got the forests. And you got Osain, who got all the herbs and is the god of medicine. And this is basically how it extends. It's a very, very beautiful way of imagining the creation of the world and how it was, and understanding the Orixás. I will try to explain more about the Orixás in different individual videos. It's at least Orixás that are, more present within the Samba world. Now, the cool thing is that those Orixás, they are a bit like guardian angels. Everyone in the world is supposed to have at least one. I heard that difference there, one in the head, one that are on our feet, guides our paths, one on the right, one on the left. So we have definitely many Orixás and spirits that accompany us through our lives. And you can be a son or a daughter, or anything in between, of a specific Orixá and have lots of those qualities in you. Let's say if you are a daughter or a son of Oshun, the vanity will be very important. You'll be very self-confident, but you'll also be very much emotional and loving person. Or if you are a daughter or a son of Shango, which is the god of justice, you'll be very just, you'll be very fair, you will go to battle confident. There are many cool things that I'll be able to explain to you in further videos. Now, within Carnival and Samba, it's pointless even to say, Orixás and the influence of Candomblé and Umbanda is everywhere. Everywhere. The way the Samba schools play, every tuning of the instruments are usually tuned to the beat of the drums that were dedicated to a specific Orixá in a ritual. So you have Orixás which are the patron saint, if you will, of specific schools. You have Oshosi, for example, who is the patron saint of Portela, or Shango, who is the patron saint of Salgueiro. So you have many, many influences of Orixás within the music, the carnival. You will see in different parades, as we saw now in 2020, we saw the opening commission, or basically almost the whole parade of Viradouro, the winner, dedicated to Oshun. So there are lots of things that you will see throughout Carnival that are originated in the Orixás. There are two beautiful enredos from Salgueiro that I love that mention the Orixás. We have Salgueiro 2007, when they sing about Candaces, the women, the African warrior women, and they start by the salutation in Yoruba, in the language, of the different Orixás. And that's what they sing. Odoia Iemanjá, Saluba Nana. Saluba is the salutation of Nana. Epa Reoia is the salutation of Oya or Yansan. Oraieye Oxum. Oraieye is the salutation of Oxum. Obashiroba. Obashi, Oba is the Obashi is the salutation of Oba. So it's very, very beautiful. Another amazing enredo from Salgueiro. You girls, you guys, you people know I am Salgueiro. I love Salgueiro. Is Salgueiro 2014 Gaia, when they were talking about the different powers of nature, and they would just evoke those Orixás in the chorus of the song. And every time I hear that song, I get goosebumps. Oxum Iemanjá, Yansan, Oxóssi caçador, Oxóssi the hunter, Ossanhe, Ogum, Caô meu pai Xangô. So you have the invocation of different Orixás in that enredo. I will talk about these Orixás in future videos. I'll also give the movements that sometimes are given to a specific Orixá, so you understand more about it. But that was it, a short introduction, I hope, about the Orixás and what they represent and how was the creation of the world from their perspective, from the perspective of the people who believe in these deities. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a thumbs up if you liked. Leave a comment, like, subscribe to the channel. I really need your support, and most importantly, share this video with your friends who are dancers, with your friends who are musicians, because everyone must know about this. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time with an amazing video about our Samba World. Take care and bye.